Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Tuesday, fourth graders, and welcome back to writing. Again, today we're going to look at another type of sentences. Today we're going to look at interrogative sentences, and maybe my little gift down here is a little clue of what those sentences are. But interrogative sentences are simply sentences that ask a question. So an example will be, "What is for lunch?" You notice that all of them have question marks. They ask questions such as who, what, when, where, and why. Just like declarative sentences, they always start with a capital letter, except this one, every one of them ends with a question mark. It's always a question. It has to end with a question mark. If it ends with a period, not an interrogative sentence. So let's look at some examples. Things like, when is your birthday? Starts with a capital letter, ends with a question mark. Ask the question of when something happens. How much did your awesome t-shirt cost? Starts with a capital letter, ends with a question mark, and asks the question about how much something costs. Where did you get your bike? Starts with a capital letter, ends with a question mark, asks a question about where. Who is your favorite singer? Ask the question who, starts with a capital letter, and ends with a question mark. Every single one of these ends with a question mark and starts with a capital letter. Every interrogative sentence has to start with a capital letter and end with a question mark. Let's look at some examples that are not interrogative sentences and talk about what makes them not interrogative. My favorite breakfast food is bacon. Ends with a period, already right away. Not an interrogative sentence. This is a statement and ends with a period. So hopefully, if you remember yesterday's lesson, you know that this question or this sentence is declarative, right? Number 2 says that skateboard trick was amazing and has an exclamation point. Does it end in a question mark right here? No, not a question mark. So not an interrogative sentence, right? The baseball game is going to start at 3 o'clock. Ends with a period, says a statement. Declarative sentence, not an interrogative sentence. Doesn't ask a question. Your brother is sleeping, so be quiet, please. Ends with a period, right? Not an interrogative sentence. It does not ask a question. All of those still start with capital letters because they are all complete sentences, but they're not interrogative, so they don't have a question mark at the end. Can you find interrogative sentences below? Let's look at number 1. Where did you go on vacation last year? Is that an interrogative, yes or no? Hopefully you're thinking yes, because it starts with a capital letter and it ends in a question mark. That was a great idea. Not interrogative, right? Why is it not interrogative? Ends with an exclamation point and it doesn't ask a question. Who turned in their homework on time? Hopefully you're thinking yes. Starts with a capital letter, asks a question about who, and ends with a question mark. That is an interrogative sentence. Number 4, some people drink coffee to help them wake up. Ends in a period and it makes a statement. That is a declarative sentence, so it is not an interrogative sentence. So look if you can find the mistakes in the interrogative sentences below. Again, remember, every interrogative sentence starts with a capital letter. Every interrogative sentence ends with a question mark. Let's look at number 1. What is your favorite part of the school day? Where do we see the mistake? Hopefully you're recognizing that this is asking a question, so it shouldn't end in a period. It should be a question mark to end the sentence. Number 2, which subtraction strategy do you like to use? Notice it does end with a question mark, so that part's correct. It is not a capital W. We need to make this a capital W. Which subtraction strategy do you like to use? Number 3, how old were you when you were in 3rd grade? Starts with a capital letter, that part's correct. There's no punctuation at all. Needs to end in a question mark. And number 4, did you finish all your work on time yesterday? It does end in a question mark. That part's correct. We notice this should be a capital D. We start every interrogative sentence with a capital letter. Did you finish all your work on time yesterday? Notice again, all capital letters to start the sentences, all question marks to end the sentences. All right, just like yesterday, you're going to do another quiz, but it's really just an assignment on interrogative sentences. Just like yesterday, you're going to have 5 questions that ask you, is this sentence an interrogative sentence, yes or no? Then you're going to have a part that has interrogative sentences with mistakes, and we're going to ask you to find and identify the mistakes And the last one is you're going to write 2 examples of an interrogative sentence on your own. Remember, every sentence starts with a capital letter, and all interrogative sentences end with a question mark. All right, so that's the 2 clues. Does it start with a capital letter? Does it end in a question mark? If the answer is yes to both of those, you're looking at an interrogative sentence. All right, we're excited to see what you guys can do with this today, and we'll see you back tomorrow for another lesson on a new type of sentence.